Hello everyone and welcome to Cookies Enabled. I am Will, your host of the show for the day, and I'm usually joined by my friend and co-worker here, Andrew, but he is working his other job, unfortunately, all day today. So good luck to Andrew out there. Hopefully the crowds don't overwhelm your little store out there too much, but I know you have a huge tourist boost this week. As I think one of the beaches in that area that he is in northern Michigan has just been ranked #1 in, or a top 5, I should say, in the nation of some of the best beaches to go to. So check out that list. I'll definitely post that in my source link list later for y'all. But unfortunately, he could not join us today. It is just going to be me, and I'm so happy to be here for you guys. Looks like my Xbox is having an issue. Which is totally fine, and this is also very normal. Like I can't ever have a show without something going on. Let's see, I'll play some Viva Pinata by itself in the background, maybe. We'll try that one. We'll see if that works. Anyway, getting back to real news of the day. Now, normally I would jump off to Andrew and let him take over the show for the first few minutes and talk about the SpaceX news and all that fun stuff. I unfortunately also had a very busy week. And hello, Andrew. Thank you for commenting from work. Hopefully it's not too crazy. But unfortunately, I did not get a chance to check in on the SpaceX news. I did read one article that had Elon Musk's name in it, that they were talking about space junk, and it didn't really have anything to do necessarily with his particular like launches or anything coming up. This was just kind of like an idea being thrown around, and his name happened to come up. And of course, he jumped in on the conversation as well. And of course, I read the article because I was like, oh, I'm intrigued. You know, space junk, Elon Musk, what? You know, to make a really long story short with that article, it ended up just being the fact that he was saying his spaceships have cargo doors, and these cargo doors can help move some of the space junk around, maybe bump it down into the atmosphere or bump it out into space and just kind of get it out of the way. So he may be able to help out with our space junk problem rather than being adding to it. Let's see. So SpaceX booster is rolling out. Awesome. And it's completed and ready for the static fire testing. Holy moly. Maybe I will try and see if that is going live today, possibly. If it is, I will totally get that on the web right now. Let me see if I can find this really quick. Please pause while I look up some things on my computer here. What's happening? Anything? Booster launch. No, this is 6 days ago. 6 days ago. 6 days ago. So I guess a few hours ago. Let's see. Live now. Yeah, it looks like they are rolling out a rocket, though. So that is really cool to see, and that is exciting, because that means something's coming. Definitely not today, though. Definitely not today. Or at least maybe they're doing something small today, but it wasn't anything that I'm going to be tuning in for, unfortunately. But at least not that YouTube's going to be tracking. So, but really cool stuff. I'm pretty sure I saw that photo. It looks like it was tweeted earlier today. And that will be on the Cookies Enabled Twitter feed if you guys want to check that out as well. So, as I know we follow SpaceX and Elon on there, so pretty sure that'll pop up on the feed. Just dig through. If I find it, I'll retweet it for sure. Anyway, get to some real news. And again, I'm sorry I didn't have more space news. We are going to talk about Hubble. Again, we're going to touch on that briefly here. But the big one, and I'm just going to knock this out right now, is Nintendo. Nintendo dropped a bomb on us, and I think I called this last week. I'm almost 100% sure I was saying, maybe it wasn't last week, it might have been the week before last, that I was saying we were definitely going to have more Nintendo news. Something, you know, they were just going to come out with something. I didn't think it was really going to be a Pro model. I think they are working on a Pro version or a next version of the Switch. But this is more like a mini upgrade. You're getting a big screen boost, and that's really it. You're also getting, for the people that like to dock their Nintendos, I have a Lite, so I don't really have the ability to dock it, unfortunately. But the regular Switch owners do, with a dock normally, and OLED version that they are releasing and coming out with is also going to have a dock, and this dock has a built-in Ethernet port, which is huge, so you don't have to buy the stupid USB dongle And I guess any USB dongle will work. I even have an Ethernet USB dongle right over in the corner. I use for my tablet all the time because it did not have, I want a thin tablet. I don't want it to be thick just so I have an Ethernet port. So I kind of see what they're doing there. And this is just on the dock. Like, I'm stunned that Nintendo built a dock to begin with and never had an Ethernet port built right in. That seems like a business tactic for you guys to have to buy more dongles. This is exactly what Apple has done with a lot of their iPad stuff. They want you to buy like 6 dongles to make it work like a real computer, and you don't really need 6 dongles. I'm not saying you actually need to buy them all, but I mean, even some of the commercials for some of these different tablets and things kind of make fun of that. But in this makes more sense. Really, all they did was just put a better screen in this thing and stretch it all the way to the edge, so you have a really thin bezel rather than that thick kind of border screen that you have currently. It's refined more on the Switch Lite. That's what this kind of reminds me of. It's just a bigger Switch Lite. It's just a bigger screen, better screen. It's supposed to have better sound, as the video points out. I don't really know how that even makes much sense, or exactly how you're going to be hearing the sound is any better than a normal Switch. I did borrow my sister's original Switch for a while, and I loved the sound quality on it. Never had an issue with it. And the same thing with my Switch Lite. I never have an issue with the sound. In fact, I never usually have it more than 50% up anyway. So I don't really know what this problem is with people having issues with the sound or the quality needing to be better. Maybe it's a little tinny for some people. But I mean, I'm not listening to music on my Switch. I'm not rating the quality. It's not altering the game experience for me, is essentially what I'm trying to say. So I don't see a problem with it. But I like what they're doing with this. Essentially, they're just doing, their sales through the roof, first of all, for the Nintendo Switch. They don't need another model. They don't need another console. There's no dip in sales. They're not trying to get people to buy these. In fact, it's still kind of hard to find them here and there. So, there's no need for them to upgrade. So I see what Nintendo did there. They said, fine, we'll give you something that's better than what you have, but isn't really an improvement. So it's not going to make everybody feel bad, essentially. Kind of like the Switch Lite did. It was more compact version. You don't need a dock. If you just want to play the games, carry it around with you everywhere you go, poof, that's a Switch Lite. That's what I have. That's all I want. I'm a gamer. I don't need all this fancy docking, switching, taking my controller nubs off and stuff. I don't want all of that. I just want to play games. That's all I want. And that's exactly what this will do too, as well as allow you to dock it and use it as the Nintendo Wii, which kind of wanted to hit on here for a minute too, is that I feel like they're just trying to take more of the old school Wii and reincorporate it back into the Switch. Essentially, they're just pushing more for this, using your Switch for yoga and using it more as a home console and less as a portable console, when the whole idea of this is supposed to be portable. In fact, they even improved the kickstand, which you wouldn't be able to use a kickstand if it's in a dock. So I guess, again, it's weird how they're really pushing both sides, the old Wii style gaming as well as the regular Switch style gaming is coming back, and all they did really throw a better screen on it. I think there is going to be a minor CPU improvement. I don't think it will be like locked down or anything like that, but there's no extra expansions. In fact, you can buy just the system and put in an old Switch dock and vice versa. If you have an old Switch, it'll work in a new dock. So if you have an old Switch and you just want the dock for the Ethernet port, you can go to Nintendo's website and you can buy it right from their webpage. Unfortunately, there is no price point for it right now, and it's not on their website yet. But this doesn't come out until like October or something. I think October 8th it was the release date for this. So you're not going to be getting that dock anytime soon. Anyway, think about it more of a Christmas present. I think is really where people will be getting the docks and OLED. This is a great idea. This is really what they should have done from the beginning. And if I had a YouTube channel back in 2017, I think is when the Switch came out, trust me, I would have been moaning and groaning that they did not put at least some kind of standard LED screen into the basics for the Switch. Now, I think Switch Lite does have an LED backlight to its system because it seems a little bit brighter, and since it's a smaller screen, it actually gives you more of a compression rate. it's like a higher resolution is what I'm trying to say. And I can notice it. I can read things easier than I could before. But again, I don't really have that problem with anything. Sometimes the games just have really tiny print, and that's just how it is. Breath of Wild, Zelda. Anyway, so I'm loving the OLED Nintendo Switch. I think this is a great idea. It's only $350, so it's not a ton more than the original system, and for good reason. You just got a screen upgrade and a dock upgrade, really. The only downside, I guess, to the dock is the fact that you lose a USB. It apparently has one less USB on it, but they give you the Ethernet. So instead of buying a dongle, you can buy a whole new dock. This is sounding very complicated, and it's sounding even more like Apple, which is not the first time their names have come up today either. So yeah, I just, again, I love this idea. I think it's great. If you don't own a Switch Lite, wait and try to pre-order one of these October 8th for sure. I think this is a great buy. I think this is going to definitely be the way to go for Nintendo Switch, and I think people that get this are going to be really, really happy with it. Your battery life is probably going to see an improvement as well, because not only are you going to get better colors, the backlight, better everything, but the screen, including resolution, you're not getting above 1080p, and the screen on there is only 720p, so I should definitely keep that in mind as well, especially when they are reviewing, because you're not getting glorious 4K, nothing, no, none of that's happening here. This is not Xbox One in a handheld device. This is like a Wii U on steroids crammed into a tiny screen. That's pretty much what this is. Argue with me in the comments. But yeah, I think that's exactly really what's happening here. Just put a really nice screen on it and said, screw you guys. We're going to just keep rolling around in our money until you stop buying these, and then we'll give you the next console, which I'm sure they've already got figured out. So there you go. I paid some homage to the new Nintendo system, which I think is pretty well done. Again, I think the other reason why we're not seeing, and I'm going to briefly touch on this, is the chip shortage. I think this is easier for them to mass produce, and these chips have already been in production. They can just keep producing them and just throw a better screen on it, a small case, poof, put it in a different, package and send it out across the world, and you're still making money. So I think that's pretty much what they decided to do. Instead of, they have the technology to do newer things and better things. I think they're waiting for these chip shortages and these manufacturing glitches and things to get a little more sorted out before they start throwing new hardware all over the place like so Microsoft did, and now there's shortages of their systems everywhere. So Nintendo usually tries to shy away from that if they can, even though there was like 3 years where nobody could find a Nintendo Wii for a while. That was interesting. So there we go. That's all my news about Nintendo for the day. Now let's talk about Hubble. Poor Hubble. This poor thing. My God. This thing has brought us some amazing images. I gotta say, this telescope has probably done more for space exploration, really, than I think going to the moon, maybe? Maybe. I don't know, because it's taught us so much more than what we learned from going to the moon and back, I feel. But this poor machine has also 10, 15 years past its original expiration date. And if anybody's worked with technology on this channel knows, technology kind of has a baseline for death. It's about 30,000 to 50,000 operation hours, depending on who manufactures it. And again, I've outlived all of my PCs here in the background, and things have well overperformed their 30,000 hours. I will guarantee you that, and they still work. So it's not that they can't do it, but being in space, you're dealing with so much more than what you deal with down here. Luckily, down here, we have a lovely ozone that protects us from a lot of solar rays, radiation, random, just all kinds of random things that can bombard our poor sat up there. Now, it does have its own protection, and it had a backup system, but apparently they can't get anything to respond. So I've heard no news all week about it, other than it's still in a mystery, and I think they're still working diligently. Probably working and reaching out to, I would say probably to SpaceX by now, if they haven't touched base with Elon Musk and been like, hey bro, our poor Hubble, can we save it? Can you save it? Can you help us out here? Can you help a brother out and fix our satellite for us? I'm sure even the Chinese government will be more than willing to help us out here. It's really a memory module glitch is really what's happening. It's either the motherboard has fried, or both memory boards have completely just seems to be not responsive, or somehow been fried. So they need to be replaced. And right now it's just floating in space in orbit. So I really hope they figure something out soon. I think they're going to have to do a manned mission and somehow try to figure out how to change orbit so they can either catch it up to the space station and dock so they can work on it that way. Done that in the past. I don't see why that would be too hard for them to do. I know we've touched on this in the last couple of weeks. That's why I'm kind of rushing through this topic. I don't really need to hit on this for a really long period of time. Again, this satellite has done its job. Its successor is supposed to be launched in, I think, 3 years. We're getting a successor, and it's going to be a doozy. It's like a bunch of mini Hubbles all put together. So it's really exciting. Anyway, so, pardon me, Hubble is struggling to be sustained. And I think NASA will do the right thing and either team up with a... some kind of force outside of the realm of private and really get this back on working for at least another 5 to 10 years. Sorry, I just got a weather alert. We've had some really weird weather, global warming, and so the whole issue, the last like 2 or 3 days, it's been very stormy. Or the last 2 or 3 times I've broadcasted live, it has been stormy, and today it has been sunny and hot. And I thought I had missed the storms, but I think it's coming right now. So hopefully I don't lose you guys. But so far so good. Thank you guys for watching. I know there's 2 of you watching right now, so really appreciate that. If you guys have any questions or if you have more concerns or whatnot, you guys want to know more or less about Hubble, drop in the comments. Let me know. We'll jump on that next week. I'll try to at least keep you updated. But yeah, kind of a weird one. So talking about weird news and also really good news for a ton of people. NYU has had a huge breakthrough this week, or I guess month or year or whatever. Congratulations, guys. You did it. You did something huge. This is really, really big news. Now, if you guys have watched any of our main episodes, especially our Welcome to the Cookies Enabled episode, you know a little bit about my backstory and health issues. And I did have an issue with my liver, but your liver can regenerate itself and actually grow itself back to normal. And it is one of the only organs in your body that can do that. But until possibly now, because of NYU, they have finally found the genome inside your liver that can alter and start and stop the regeneration process of pretty much your entire body. So not just the liver, but other organs as well. So whoa, huge news. This is massive. They've been trying to find this key for a really, really, really long time. And apparently they finally got the genome. That means that they're going to definitely start testing in mice very soon, but they would actually possibly be more than able to not only regenerate a liver, but actually trick it to start generating more of its own tissue. And or stop it from generating more tissue. Maybe you've got fatty liver syndrome or something, you need to kind of slow it down a little bit. Now it may also be used since we have the gene therapy like CRISP, which allows us to, it's kind of RNA, allows us to rewrite other genes. You may be able to take this genetic code and write it in other organs like kidneys and lungs and hearts and things. So you may actually be able to have a artery that can regenerate, or a lung that can regenerate, or a kidney that can regenerate. And this was all fairy tales, science fiction, and very much impossible. No one I know was even looking at it. Apparently we had people over in New York very concerned about this, and this is huge. This is so huge. Mice and human trials and testing are going to continue, apparently, at least from the article I read. Let me show you a little more. Now again, as I stated, that your liver does have the ability to regenerate itself. There's nothing new. You can lose up to 2/3 of your liver, and the rest will just regrow from there. That's all you actually need. You only need 1/5 of your liver to survive, and most people don't realize that or know that. But again, you won't be able to drink or really eat much either. You'd be on a liquid diet for sure. But the liver can actually regenerate itself solely based on those gene codes. And up to this point, yes, we had the full spectrum of the human genome, but we didn't know exactly what the key was in the whole genome that just triggers that regeneration process. Now we know what turns it on, turns it off, specifically in the genome, and why, and all the fun stuff. I'm going to leave a ton of that article out because it's super scientific. And to prove that that article is legit, I'm going to switch to my other window here, my web news window, and I will show you guys the article here. I would love to try the name, but I am so sorry. I'm probably going to screw that up really bad. But again, they did discover, it's Dr. Kristen Sadler, I think is her last name there. I think she's one of the lead scientists on this one as well. Very awesome article. Well done, buddy, over there. I think this is going to be a huge breakthrough. If you want to know more, this is not the only version of the article. There's a couple of different posts of it out across the web, so I'm sure you will probably see it pop up on NBC or ABC or one of those, CBS, something like that, pretty soon here. Because it's a huge deal. This could make it or break it for so many people. Even organ transplants could be a thing of the past. If you could just be getting an injection and then poof, that organ that you needed replaced just starts regenerating. Huge, mind-blowing, very cool news, very exciting news. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that and let you guys know how that goes over the years. But for people like me that possibly needed a liver and at one point was considering being put on the liver transplant list and now need one anymore, thank goodness. It was that this is huge news to think that they could have a way to artificially and or help boost liver generation as well. So cool, very cool, guys. Good work out there in New York. And for our final topic for the day is again Windows 11. I don't really have a ton of extra news here. Again, Windows 11. I don't know why this logo is so massive all of a sudden. Sorry about that. But this one is it's kind of a big deal. Beta is still out there. I did not get a chance to get my virtual machine working this week. I didn't even get a chance to test it. So I'm really sorry. But I'm hoping in the next, or possibly two, I'll definitely be able to get at least one of my previous machines running Windows 11 and be able to beta test it. I did read a few articles this week that state that this is probably the biggest push from Microsoft against Apple in a long time. Probably since like the late 90s. This is a direct hit, is really what a lot of them are saying, is that they are straight up coming out and just kind of beating each other up. And this is nothing new. Apple has always taken shots at Microsoft pretty much since day one. And it's because it actually got Apple's first. And so I'm not here to deny that at all. That's legitimate, the history. And if you don't believe that, go back and watch my main histories and computer history episode. Sorry, guys. The history of computers episode. Cookies Enabled explained that Apple actually did beat Microsoft to the war of the personal computer list anyway. But Microsoft is still the biggest competitor to Apple and is probably on a few more machines around the world than Apple as well. So this has always been a big thing for both of them, and I think now they're finally going to be pushing back. So that's really what Windows 11 is about. I mean, from the beginning, you see that the taskbar, everything has been moved around, and it actually looks more like a Mac to me. It looks so much more like a Mac appearance and functionality than Windows has ever done. And to make a good point, though, that actually has been coming for a long time. Windows has slowly been migrating towards a Mac look, and I always want to say that Mac is slowly migrating towards more of a Windows look. So eventually I think they're going to hit a formality where they're almost identical to each other. They're just running totally different baseline code. And I think that's what we're already starting to see. They're, especially with the big push here for Windows 11, hopefully we'll be actually able to run all, our Android apps right on my desktop, which would just be massively awesome. And the other reason why this is kind of a big Microsoft versus Apple situation is because Apple's always given their new software away for free to current iPhone users or in Apple people or whatever, if there's a new OS for the desktop that you have, you'll get it for free. Especially if the software can support it, you just get the upgrade. And if you don't, you go to your local store and you can buy the software you used to be able to for like 30 bucks on a little deep. You could go home and install the new OS yourself. I'm pretty sure they still do that, but that's the thing is that Windows has never been like, here's free software until they screwed up with Windows 8. Now, I think this is going to be the beginning of free upgrades for life, pretty much. If you are running a Windows anything, you are always going to get the newer everything unless you hacked it or you cheated it or you know, broke some kind of rule in their book. Maybe you didn't pay for a subscription or something, I don't know. And right now, as long as you have a Windows 10 machine that supports Windows 11 features, which about 80 to 90% of the computers out there do, you can get Windows 11 for free, apparently. It'll just come as a regular Windows update, kind of like how they did with Windows 10 from Windows 8. You just could download this little package, go through the little setup, and if it just did the rest, and bam, you're all set. So I think this is going to be huge because that's exactly what Apple always does, and now they're kind of like, haha, now we're doing it too. We don't make money just from this anymore, so screw you, Apple. We're going to start giving our software away for a lot cheaper, and it's going to be a lot easier to get, especially if you already had Windows, which almost everybody does. So, and I think this is going to work. I think this is going to be a huge step in the right direction. I'm really excited in Windows 11, and I know a lot of people that are, actually. I think this is going to be a huge step for corporations. For this, I'm excited to see if they have like a server edition of Windows 11, because I don't really know if they really ever. As far as I know, they had a newer server edition, but it was pretty much just a glorified Windows or Server 2000 edition, and that was it. So I really think this will be. I mean, aside from Azure, which is really totally different, it's more app-based stuff. So anyway, now I'm just rambling, but I think this is definitely a huge. I really have to agree with what these other, you know, opinion guys are saying, that this is a war, and this is the huge beginning of Microsoft's big push back towards being the dominant and making Apple look like a secondary. And I think Apple's going to definitely shine back for sure. I think they've had some tricks up their sleeve for a while that they've been holding back, and I think we'll see how this goes. So anyway, that's really kind of all the news I had for you guys today. I know this is a really short video compared to my normal one. I'm putting our email on the screen here. It is cookiesenabled01@gmail.com. And I would love to hear from you guys. Let us know what you think. Did you need more episodes that are main episodes? Do you want to see less of the What's New Wednesdays? Maybe we only need to do these twice a week or something. Let us know. You know, I want to hear more feedback from you guys. I feel like I get a couple comments here and there, but they're always from people that I already know, people that I'm already talking to, which is great. I'm not saying I don't want to talk to y'all. I'm just saying I want to talk to new people too. So this is another kind of option. If you're too shy to hit us up directly in the comment section below, that's totally cool. Email me here. I get to read these emails, and so does Andrew. No one else. There's no one else on the team other than Andy. He does our music, but he doesn't get to read these unless we need him to. It's a music question. So anyway, let us know. Email us at cookiesenabled01@gmail.com with any ideas you might have for future episodes or questions, concerns. Maybe you hate my hair or something. I don't know. Just let me know, guys. I love you all. Thank you guys for the few people that I had tuned in. I know Andrew tuned in from work. Thank you again. Hopefully he's having a great day. I appreciate everybody and all the hard work they've been doing. Keep it up. And hopefully, I know I learned something new today, and hopefully you all did too. Thank you guys, and I'll talk to you later.